What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and take a look at this headline. Gas stimulus checks from the White House may be possible. This just coming out last week, and yes, this is stimulus checks going out to everybody in the nation to help them out with these record high gas prices. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. This is your breaking news stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now, we're going to be waiting to see if Congress is going to be doing this. We're hearing that this is likely going to be the only way to help people out at the pump. As the gas tax holiday, we've heard it's a flop, and members of Congress across the board, Republicans and Democrats, are saying, we do not support this. It's simply not going to help out the American people enough. And we've heard from several members of Congress that are saying, send out those checks. That's the only way to ensure that the American people get some kind of relief while we're having these record high gas prices. Now, in the meantime, while we wait to see what's going on with that, and I'm going to be diving into that article here in just a second, we're seeing states are saying, hey, we're going to take matters into our own hands. We're tired of waiting for the federal government as well. We're passing our own checks, our own packages, making our own deals. And take a look at this, you guys. A deal has been made. A deal reached on a plan for more than $9 billion in gas refunds to California drivers. That is right. California stimulus checks for gas are going to be going out here very soon. And take a look at this one, you guys. Minnesota Democrats call for $1,000 rebate checks, but Republicans, they want permanent tax cuts. This is just coming out this week as well. As you guys, we're hearing across the board, states are starting to pass packages and checks, and I'm going to keep you up to date on all of them. And for those of you that follow me here on the channel, you know right now I'm working on a comprehensive list of all the checks for states, cities, counties. There's tons of them. People don't even realize that they're available, but in many cases, they're only available for limited amounts of time, and in some cases, you actually have to apply. And we're hearing about 90% of people that are eligible for these, they're missing out because they don't know that they even exist. Well, I want to make sure that that does not happen to anybody here on my channel. I'm going to keep you guys up to date on everything, so keep an eye out for that. And if you appreciate that, don't forget, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps me out a ton here on the channel. Also, if you want to stay up to date, it's free. Why not? Come join the Ram fam. I'll let you know everything going on as it rolls out. All you got to do is very quickly smash that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. And I've got a second channel you might want to consider joining, Steve Ram Finance, where you can learn about growing wealth and personal finance. I pray that that channel is a blessing to you with everything that we've got going on in this turbulent economic environment. If you're interested, I'll pin a comment down below. Click the link, go subscribe, turn on notifications. And with that being said, though, you guys, let's dive into these articles, get you caught up on federal level and state level stimulus checks. All right, so first up, link in the description below to this article that just came out yesterday, and this is for California, and this is huge because this starts to have a dominoes effect. As we see one state start to implement this sort of thing, then we begin to see other states implement it as well. And right now, they're kind of setting the standard for gas stimulus checks to start going out. Take a look, you guys. Deal reached for a $9 billion gas refund for California drivers. Now, this says Governor Gavin Newsom and the state lawmakers have reached a tentative deal to send out $9.5 billion in tax refunds to Californians, providing as much as $1,050 to families this fall in a long-awaited financial relief for record-high gasoline prices and other rising costs. Now, the plan would provide large refunds to households that earn less money and include additional payments for dependents, according to documents outlining the proposal. Though Newsom originally hoped to get money back in people's pockets this summer, discourse among Democrats at the Capitol delayed the timeline for months. Refunds to offset the highest fuel costs of any state in the nation will probably not start going out until October, if approved by the legislature next week. So, even though this is going to be on the way, it might not be hitting your bank accounts for quite some time, unfortunately. Now, the plan to issue refunds is part of the largest state budget agreement the governor and legislators are expected to announce soon. Now, the spending plan for the upcoming year includes more funding for K-12 education, pandemic bonuses for healthcare workers, money to address drought and wildfires, expanded access to abortion services, and other funding priorities of California's Democratic leaders. Now, defraying rising gas prices has been the crux of the debate between Newsom and lawmakers over how to spend the state's surplus tax revenue, last projected to reach $97 billion through next summer. Now, the sides disagreed for months over who should receive funds and how much they should get. Now, Newsom ultimately gave up his efforts to tie refunds to vehicle ownership through the Department of Motor Vehicle and agreed that the legislators' plan to work with the Franchise Tax Board to send direct deposits and debit cards to taxpayers would be best. Now, leaders of the Senate Assembly compromised on their call to exclude wealthy Californians from being eligible for refunds and settle on an income cap of $250,000 for individual taxpayers and $500,000 for joint filers, more than double the limit in their original proposal. So, more people are going to be included in this, and the plan would provide refunds on a sliding scale based on 3 income levels. Individuals who earn up to $75,000 a year would receive $350, which would double to $700 for joint filers that earn up to $150,000. Households would receive an additional $350 payment if they claimed any dependents, for a refund of $1,050. So that's how much the max you can get from this. The next income level for single filers that earn up to $125,000 would get $250 refunds. Households that file jointly earning up to $250,000 would receive $500. Children or any other dependents who are or qualified taxpayers for an additional $250 payment make families in this income bracket eligible for up to $750 total. And individuals who earn up to $250,000 would receive $200, and joint filers with an income of as much as $500,000 would receive $400. Households with dependents would receive an extra $200, making this income bracket eligible for a maximum of $600. And the legislature will vote on refunds and a final state budget plan in a series of bills next week. So keep an eye out for this. This just came out yesterday. Up next, link in the description below to this article that says Minnesota Democrats call for $1,000 rebate checks, but Republicans want to see permanent tax cuts. Now this says Governor Tim Walz, this week he called on Republicans to return to Capitol Hill to sign on sending $1,000 stimulus checks to Minnesotans as rising gas prices, food prices, and everything else eats away at people's paychecks. Now, it is absolutely unconscientious not to do this, Walz said during a Wednesday news conference. The state is sitting on about $7 billion budget surplus. And as you know right now, this is across the board. All over the nation, states have tons of excess money. They've got leftover American Rescue Plan fund money, and that is why we're seeing so many of these state, city, and county checks. Now, under Walz's proposal, the state would rebate about $4 billion of the budget surplus to taxpayers. Individuals earning less than $165,000 would receive $1,000, and couples earning less than $275,000 would receive $2,000 checks. Now, the idea revives an earlier pitch by the governor for Walz checks, which failed to garner much enthusiasm from his own Democratic allies in the legislature, and which Republicans called an election year gimmick. Now, the governorship and the legislative seats will be on the ballot this November, and we're having inflation at a 40-year high, they're saying, so they're saying it is time to send out some assistance to the people of Minnesota. And lastly, it's beginning to look more and more likely that we're going to be seeing this on a federal level. Link in the description below. Gas stimulus checks from the White House may be possible here very soon. The article says the White House last approved stimulus money back in March of 2021, though the economy has improved since then. Rising inflation and gas prices have made life difficult for many Americans. Thus, many are expecting the federal government to send more stimulus money to help people combat inflation, and so far it was believed that the White House was not interested in sending more stimulus checks. However, since late last week, reports are circulating that the approval of gas stimulus checks from the White House could be a possibility here very soon. Now, if approved, the stimulus money would come in the form of a gas rebate card. Now, over the weekend, there were reports that the Biden administration is considering a stimulus plan to send rebate cards to Americans to help them offset the rising gas prices. Now, for instance, the Washington Post noted that the senior White House executives recently revisited a plan to send gas rebate cards to Americans. Also, Fox Business, citing an unnamed official, noted that the Biden administration is considering sending out gas rebate cards. Now, gas stimulus checks from the White House, if approved, could offer much needed relief to Americans. As per the data from the American Automobile Association, the national average of gas, the price per gallon was $5 on Friday compared to $3.075 at the same time just last year. So you guys, beginning to look more and more likely that they're going to be sending out checks. We're getting more and more reports. I'm getting these every single day. Now, this is under consideration, especially after the flop of the federal gas tax holiday proposed by the president. So we're going to be seeing what comes out, and I will keep you up to date here on the channel. So that is the latest on checks, you guys, and as always, thank you so much for joining me this Sunday evening. I hope that this was a blessing to you. Hope it reaches you well. And if you enjoy the content and you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second before we leave, smash that like button for me. Helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. Leave your comments, share this out. If you want to stay up to date, it's free. Why not? Join the Ram fam. All you got to do is very quickly smash that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance, and keep an eye out for a comprehensive list of all checks and all levels coming your way very soon. And with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much. I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.